listen very carefully, because today I'm holding 3 Lincoln Wheat Pennies in my hand. They all look old. They all look ordinary. But here's the twist. These are not just any old pennies. These are 3 of the most valuable and ultra-rare Lincoln Wheat Pennies that continue to amaze collectors across the country. The same kind of coins that make experienced collectors stop scrolling and start paying attention. Stop. These coins could be hidden treasure. Do not spend them. Check your pocket now. Every single day, people unknowingly spend wheat pennies that could be worth serious money simply because they never check the date or the tiny details. That's exactly why these hidden coins continue disappearing from circulation while knowledgeable collectors quietly search for them. What you're about to see isn't just another coin countdown. These are wheat pennies with incredible history, rising collector demand, and the kind of silent fortune that most people accidentally throw away. And here's the crazy part. Each coin in today's top 3 becomes rarer, more exciting, and more valuable than the one before it. So skipping ahead could mean missing the biggest surprise of the entire video. If you think you have one of these rare wheat pennies, don't clean it, don't spend it, and have it professionally authenticated before making any decisions. If you love discovering hidden treasures hiding in everyday pocket change, hit the like button, subscribe to Rare Penny Finds, and turn on the notification bell. Now, let's reveal the 3 incredible wheat pennies that most people accidentally spend every single day. Coin number 1. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your pocket, an old coin jar, or even a forgotten bankroll, could be worth far more than 1 cent? Most people spend Lincoln pennies every day without giving them a second thought. But collectors know that certain dates, mint marks, rare errors, and exceptional conditions can turn an ordinary-looking coin into an incredible discovery. And today, we're uncovering the truth about one of the most searched coins online, the 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. Before we begin, there's one important fact every collector should know. The 1951 D Lincoln cent was officially struck in copper, not steel. If someone claims to have a genuine 1951 D steel penny, it would have to be an extremely unusual mint error, not a normal circulation coin. That makes it a fascinating topic because many people confuse it with the famous 1943 steel cent. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes a real 1951 D penny valuable, which rare errors to watch for, and why collectors continue searching through old coins every single day. The Denver Mint produced millions of 1951 D Lincoln Wheat pennies, which means most examples are common. But don't let that fool you. In coin collecting, rarity isn't determined only by the date. Conditions, strike quality, color, and mint errors can dramatically change a coin's value. That's why 2 pennies from the same year can have completely different prices. The first thing to check is the mint mark. Look below the date on the front of the coin. If you see a small letter D, your coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, examine the overall condition. Is Lincoln's portrait sharp? Are the wheat ears on the reverse fully detailed? Has the coin kept its original reddish color, or has it turned brown after decades of circulation? These small details can make an enormous difference. Many circulated 1951 D pennies are worth only a small premium over face value. However, beautiful uncirculated examples with strong original red color are much more desirable. Collectors compete for the finest known examples because they become increasingly difficult to find after decades in circulation. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, mint errors. One of the most popular is an off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet isn't perfectly aligned during striking. If part of the design is missing while the date remains visible, collectors often pay strong premiums depending on how dramatic the error is. Another collectible error is a clipped planchet. Instead of a perfectly round coin, part of the edge is missing because the blank was cut incorrectly before striking. Genuine clipped planchets show distinctive characteristics that experts can recognize, making them popular among error collectors. Die cracks are another possibility. These appear as raised lines caused by cracks developing in the minting dies. Small die cracks may add modest value, while larger and more dramatic examples attract greater collector interest. Strike-through errors are also worth watching for. These occur when grease or debris gets between the die and the coin during striking, leaving unusual missing details or patterns. Every genuine strike-through is unique, making these coins especially interesting. Collectors also carefully inspect for doubled design elements. While major double dies for the 1951 descent are not among the series' famous varieties, any noticeable doubling should be examined by a knowledgeable expert before conclusions are made. Many beginners believe every old penny is worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The truth is that value depends on several factors working together. Age alone doesn't create rarity. Preservation, eye appeal, and genuine mint errors matter much more. If you think you've found an unusual 1951 D-penny, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can significantly reduce collector value. Even gentle polishing can leave tiny scratches that grading experts immediately recognize. Instead, hold the coin only by its edges and place it in a protective holder. Compare it carefully with photographs of normal examples. If the coin appears to have a significant error or exceptional quality, consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service. One question collectors ask repeatedly is whether a magnetic 1951 D-penny could exist. Since standard 1951 D-cents were struck on copper planchets, they should not stick to a magnet. A magnetic example would deserve careful expert examination because it would not represent a normal issue. Stories of valuable coin discoveries continue to inspire collectors around the world. Rare mint errors have been found in pocket change, inherited collections, and unopened bankrolls. While such discoveries are uncommon, they remind us why so many people continue searching through old coins. Coin collecting is about more than money. Every Lincoln Wheat penny tells a story about American history, the people who used it, and the journey it has taken over decades. That's part of what makes this hobby so rewarding. So, before you spend another old penny, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the surfaces, the color, and the details. You never know when an overlooked coin might turn out to be a collectible example that deserves a place in a collection instead of a cash register. If you enjoyed learning about the 1951 D Lincoln Wheat penny, make sure to subscribe for more videos covering valuable pennies, rare mint errors, hidden treasures, and real coin collecting facts. And tell us in the comments, have you ever found an old wheat penny in your change? Your next discovery could be waiting in a coin jar, an old drawer, or even the handful of change already in your pocket. Coin number 2. What if I told you that a single penny sitting quietly in an old jar, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, or hiding in your pocket change could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Most people never think twice before spending a Lincoln penny, but collectors know that some ordinary-looking coins can become valuable treasures. Today, we're uncovering the truth about the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that millions of Americans once carried every day, yet one that still surprises collectors with its history, its hidden varieties, and the rare conditions that can make it highly desirable. Before you rush to check your pocket change, there's something important you need to know. While many websites and videos talk about a 1951 steel penny, the U.S. Mint did not issue regular 1951 Lincoln cents in steel. Standard 1951 pennies were struck in copper. That means the real opportunity isn't finding a normal steel version. It's learning how to identify genuine 1951 no mint mark pennies that have exceptional condition or authentic mint errors. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions were struck, so finding one isn't especially difficult. What separates an ordinary coin from a collectible one is its condition, original color, strike quality, and whether it shows a legitimate mint error. Those are the details experienced collectors look for before deciding whether a coin belongs in a collection or is simply worth face value. The first thing you should examine is the date. Make sure it clearly reads 1951. Then check below the date. If there is no D or S mint mark, your coin was struck in Philadelphia. Next, look closely at Lincoln's portrait. Are the details in his hair still sharp? Are the wheat ears on the reverse fully visible? Does the coin still have its original reddish color, or has it turned brown after decades of circulation? Every one of these details affects collector value. Most circulated 1951 no-mint mark pennies are worth only a modest premium, but coins that remain in brilliant, uncirculated condition with original red surfaces can attract much stronger interest. Collectors often pay significantly more for examples that have survived for decades without heavy wear. Then there are the mint errors. An off-center strike, a clipped planchet, a strike-through error, or dramatic die cracks can make an otherwise common penny much more desirable. These errors occurred during the minting process, making each example unique and fascinating to collectors. And here's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every old coin tells a story. A penny minted in 1951 may have traveled across the country, passed through thousands of hands, and survived generations before ending up in your collection. That's why so many collectors continue searching through pocket change, estate collections, and old coin jars. You never know when an overlooked penny might turn out to be the most interesting coin you've ever found. What if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny hiding in an old coin jar, a family collection, or even your pocket change could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Most people never stop to look at the date on their pennies, but experienced collectors know that some Lincoln Wheat pennies have become incredibly desirable because of their condition, rare mint errors, and fascinating history. Today, we're taking a close look at the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that millions of Americans once used every day, but that still has collectors searching for exceptional examples. Before you grab every penny you can find, there's one important fact every collector should know. The 1951 Lincoln penny was struck in bronze, not steel. That means if someone tells you every 1951 penny is made of steel, that information isn't correct. The real excitement comes from finding a beautifully preserved example or a genuine mint error that collectors are willing to pay premiums for. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of 1951 Lincoln Wheat pennies without a mint mark. Because so many were made, most circulated examples are common. But don't let that fool you. In coin collecting, rarity is about much more than mintage. A coin with exceptional eye appeal, strong original color, or a genuine mint error can stand out from millions of ordinary examples. The first thing to examine is the overall condition. Hold the coin carefully by its edges and look at Lincoln's portrait. Is the hair sharp and detailed? Can you clearly see the lines in the wheat ears on the reverse? Does the coin still have bright red luster, or has it turned brown from decades of circulation? Collectors often pay the highest prices for coins that still display their original mint color because they are much harder to find after more than 70 years. Next, inspect the coin for unusual features. One of the most popular mint errors is an off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet isn't perfectly aligned during the striking process. Another collectible error is a clipped planchet, where part of the coin is missing because the metal blank was cut incorrectly before striking. Genuine examples of these errors can attract significant interest from collectors. Die cracks are another feature to watch for. These appear as raised lines caused by cracks forming in the minting die. While small die cracks may add only modest value, larger and more dramatic examples are often eagerly sought by specialists. Strike-through errors, where grease or debris interfered with the striking process, can also create unusual and collectible coins. Many people wonder if cleaning an old penny will increase its value. In reality, the opposite is usually true. Cleaning removes the original surface and often leaves tiny scratches that professional graders can immediately detect. Even a gentle polish can reduce a collectible coin's desirability. If you believe you've found an exceptional 1951 no-mint mark penny, it's best to leave it exactly as you found it and store it in a protective holder. Professional grading can make a tremendous difference for high-quality coins. Grading experts evaluate wear luster, strike quality, and preservation before assigning a numerical grade. Coins that receive the highest grades are much scarcer than ordinary circulated examples and can command much stronger prices in the collector market. One of the reasons Lincoln Wheat pennies remain so popular is that they connect collectors with American history. Every 1951 penny was struck during a time of tremendous change in the United States. These coins passed through countless hands, bought everyday goods, and quietly became pieces of history. Today, every surviving example tells a story that began more than 7 decades ago. If you're searching through old jars, inherited collections, or bankrolls, don't ignore the details. Check every 1951 penny without a mint mark carefully. Look for sharp details, original red color, unusual striking errors, and anything that seems different from an ordinary coin. Those small differences are exactly what experienced collectors search for. Remember, finding a valuable coin takes patience, knowledge, and careful observation. Most coins won't be worth a fortune, but every search teaches you more about the hobby. And every now and then, someone discovers an overlooked treasure that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. So, before you spend another old penny, take a closer look. Your next coin could be a beautiful collector's piece with outstanding condition, or a genuine mint error that deserves far more attention than a trip through a cash register. That's the excitement that keeps collectors searching year after year. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about valuable Lincoln wheat pennies, rare mint errors, hidden treasures, and fascinating coin discoveries. And tell us in the comments, what's the oldest Lincoln wheat penny you've ever found? Your next great discovery could already be waiting in your pocket. Coin number 3. What if I told you that one old penny hiding in a forgotten coin jar, tucked inside an old wallet, or sitting quietly at the bottom of a dresser drawer, could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Every day, millions of people spend Lincoln wheat pennies without ever taking a second look. Yet collectors across America continue searching through bank rolls, estate sales, flea markets, and inherited collections because they know an ordinary-looking penny can sometimes become an extraordinary discovery. Today's coin is the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors for decades. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than an old copper penny. But the truth is far more interesting. While most 1942 pennies are common, certain examples with exceptional condition or genuine mint errors have become highly desirable in the numismatic world. Before you spend another old penny, you may want to hear this entire story because one small detail could make all the difference. The year 1942 was one of the most important years in American history. The United States had entered World War II. Industries were changing rapidly, and millions of Americans were contributing to the war effort. During this period, Lincoln wheat pennies continued to be struck in bronze, but dramatic changes were already being planned. Just 1 year later, in 1943, the U.S. Mint switched to zinc-coated steel cents to conserve copper for wartime production. That makes the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny the final full year of normal bronze production before one of the most famous changes in American coin history. The first thing you should do is examine the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1942. Then look below the date for a mint mark. If there is no mint mark, your coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. A small D means it came from Denver, while an S indicates it was struck in San Francisco. Each mint produced coins with slightly different populations, and collectors often compare them when searching for high-quality examples. Now comes the exciting part. Most circulated 1942 pennies are worth only a modest premium over face value, but condition changes everything. Professional coin graders examine every tiny detail. They look at Lincoln's hair, the sharpness of his beard, the lettering around the rim, and the wheat ears on the reverse. A coin that has survived more than 80 years with little or no wear is much more difficult to find than one that circulated for decades. Another important factor is color. Copper coins are generally classified as brown, red-brown, or red. A brilliant original red example that still displays its fresh mint luster can command much stronger prices than an otherwise identical brown coin. That's why experienced collectors always handle old pennies carefully by the edges and never clean them. Cleaning removes the natural surface and often reduces collector value instead of increasing it. But condition isn't the only thing that matters. Mint errors are another reason collectors continue searching through thousands of pennies. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet is not perfectly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing. A clipped planchet happens when the blank itself is cut incorrectly before it is struck. Strike-through errors occur when grease or debris comes between the die and the coin, creating unusual missing details. Die cracks, die chips, and cut errors also make certain 1942 pennies stand out from ordinary examples. One of the most fascinating stories involves the extremely rare 1942 bronze and transitional varieties associated with wartime production changes. While these are exceptionally uncommon, they remind collectors that unusual minting mistakes can happen. That's why every old coin deserves a careful inspection before it is spent or ignored. Imagine opening an old family coin collection and discovering several 1942 wheat pennies. At first they all look alike, but after examining them closely, one has brilliant original color, another has a noticeable die crack, and another shows an unusual striking error. Suddenly, what seemed like ordinary pocket change becomes an exciting treasure hunt. That's exactly what keeps millions of collectors interested in this hobby year after year. Many beginners make one common mistake. They assume every old penny is automatically valuable. The reality is much more interesting. Knowledge creates value. Understanding how to identify genuine mint errors, recognize outstanding condition, and protect coins properly gives collectors a tremendous advantage. That's why education is one of the most valuable tools any collector can have. And here's something many people overlook. Even if your 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't worth hundreds or thousands of dollars today, preserving it correctly means future generations can enjoy owning a genuine piece of American history. Every coin has traveled through countless hands, witnessed decades of change, and survived long enough to tell its own unique story. So, before you spend another old penny, stop and take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the mint mark. Examine the color, the details, and any unusual features. That simple habit has led many collectors to remarkable discoveries, and your next great find could already be hiding in your pocket, your coin jar, or an old collection waiting to be rediscovered. If you're passionate about rare coins, valuable wheat pennies, hidden mint errors, and fascinating coin history, make sure you subscribe and join us for more discoveries. Every coin has a story, and the next one you examine might become your most exciting find yet.